Good morning, everyone. Welcome, Yankees Nation. And you are here with Ken on The Ugly Truth. Today is going to be an open panel for us and looking to have folks come up and talk Yankee Baseball 2025 season thus far. Uh, Morning, Joe from NY Yankee Mania, Real Bill, and Jonathan. Glad to see that y'all are here. Uh, the start of the season has been pretty good for the Yankees. We are sitting with uh, the third best record in Major League Baseball, with a lot of our top flight ball players on the shelf. Garrett Cole, Luis Hill, uh, Kirk Cousins, uh, Jazz Chisholm, and Giancarlo Stanton. So that's a pretty good accomplishment uh, to this point. Are there improvements that need to be made to the team? Well, I certainly think so. Uh, One of my areas of concern has been the bench depth. Over the last two seasons, the Yankees truly haven't uh, had good bench players. What I class as a bench player is somebody who's versatile, uh, has defensive prowess, and has the ability to contribute offensively. If we look at our bench pieces right now, you would look at Ben Rice as one of them, who is definitely contributing offensively, although he's starting to take a reality check and is coming back down to earth. Uh, if we go with the standard alignment from the beginning of the season, uh, Trent Grisham is another such player, and he has second to none when it comes to uh, defensive abilities. He's a gold caliber glove in the outfield with the versatility, and he has been contributing with the bat. This season, he seems to be hitting outside his weight class. He's doing very well, but he is also starting to come back down to earth. Uh, and then you look at our other two bench players, Pablo Reyes and uh, Oswald Peraza. Good morning, FJ. Glad to see you hopping in the stream. Defensively, Peraza is probably one of the best gloves in the organization. Offensively, a big zero. He is not contributing whatsoever. In last night's game, he was up three times and struck out in all three at bats, and um, looked not very impressive. Uh, Yorbit Vivas, he's a young player. He has contributed with the on the defensive end of the spectrum, but when you're talking offense, it's certainly not there. And then Pablo Reyes, why he's actually still on the team, I have no idea. Uh, don't think he's an overly good position player, and definitely not good at the bat or with the bat. Reyes got a lot of praise from Boone during spring training when he was hitting against a lighter caliber pitcher, and he did well for spring training. Did he earn a spot on the 26-man roster? I'm not absolutely sure about that one. I probably wouldn't have gone with him. However, he is on the team, and I think that his time is actually limited. I think when we start bringing back people like Big G and Jazz, his time will be done in the Bronx. As you can see, I've dropped the link to come up on the open panel. Uh, today is a completely unscripted show. Uh, so, ready to freewheel with anybody who wants to have a chat. Hey, Jason, welcome to the stream, and you too, Sean. Appreciate y'all being here. So, if you would drop a comment about your thoughts on the Yankees bench coming up, and where we may be able to make improvements that you guys see. I looked at the free agent list of players that are available, and there's just not a hell of a lot out there. And most of the players are definitely older, so they're not definitely not going to be everyday players, but may be able to contribute off the bench. One of them that I saw, he doesn't fit our profile because, frankly, he's an outfielder and he's a left-handed bat. Is David Peralta. David Peralta hits with a fair amount of power. Good morning, Eric. Thank you for hopping in the stream. Appreciate you being here. But our outfield is packed already with Jason Dominguez and Trent Grisham splitting time. I see that I have Sean hopping in, so I'm going to bring him up. And morning, Sean. How are you doing?
Doing all right.
Good, good, good. I'm going to bring up a comment from Jason Custodio. Oswaldo was a big loss. He's a great utility guy. And my personal opinion, Cabrera, his best attributes were as that Swiss Army knife player that could come off the bench and provide some at bats from the left hand side. Not great right handed hitter. He's listed as a switch hitter, but I certainly wouldn't go there with him. And he was holding down third base.
Well, and remember when he first came up, he was a utility guy. When we were hurting people, and he covered into right field. He filled in outfield, and he was holding his own in the outfield. And this guy was mainly an infielder coming up, but then he really became that utility every guy who can make a lot of quality starts for you and hold his own in each of the position he plays. And then he's like the heart of the team too. That was the other thing that, besides the fact that he's a Swiss Army knife, as Ken said, was the energy he brought. The whole team just fed off of it. And yeah, he was like the heart of the team. And then he goes down with this freak injury.
So I've got a comment from Jason Custodio. I've been looking at Len Sosa from the White Sox. He can play third, second, and first. He's batting 270 plus. I think he has years of control. Wouldn't cost much to land him. Well, that would be a very versatile player, and would definitely be my. Jason? Would you consider him possibly going in to take the helm at third base? Right now, the way we have it with Jazz coming back, I'd much prefer to see him back at second, and shift DJ over to third. But I'm not so sure how long he can hold up. DJ's had a long, extensive injury history, and when he is hurt, he hits like doo-doo.
Right.
Go ahead, Sean.
And my thoughts exactly is Jazz comes back, put him in second. And then I would move DJ to third, but I would platoon him with Bebas, and probably Peraza, because since that hip flexor injury in 2021 or 2022, whatever year it was with DJ, it's been like derailed. He's been like injury prone since then, and he hasn't really hit the same. You know.
Well, I'll tell you, Sean. DJ, when DJ was hitting at his best, punched a lot of balls to the right side of the infield. Uh, since his return from the IL, uh, I've noticed that he is hitting much uh, better. His BABIP is jacked up. He's hitting balls hard, and they're just directly at
Oh yeah.
people. So those
No.
hits are going to start falling. But
Yeah.
I like his swing.
He got
You
robbed
think?
that line shot, hot shot, what would have been a double, but if the guy did not slide and grab and snatch it.
Well, DJ's probably having nightmares of Adolis Garcia, who was the player who made two fantastic plays against him in the Texas series. Morning, Dev. Glad to see you hopping on board. Thanks for the support, brother.
But yeah, I mean, because here's my thing: would you put Vivas or Peraza? Who would you keep if you had to choose between the two?
Vivas or Peraza? Well, I think that Oswald has had every opportunity to succeed at the major league level, and it's just apparent that he cannot hit at the major league level. So if I'm parting ways with somebody, it's probably going to be Peraza.
Yeah, I mean, Vivas has been hitterish, and he's actually held his own on, you know, defensively. And then that double play combo he has with uh, Volpe is pretty nice to watch. But yeah, Peraza's getting every chance he's been given, and like he hasn't really broken out of that whole quadruple A mode with the bat.
I mean, honestly, the book on Peraza is fantastic glove guy and uh, triple mid range triple A hitter, and that's not going to cut it up with us, especially
Right.
if we're looking to return to the World Series. That's why I'm thinking that we definitely need to bring depth to the bench. There was an article recently by Bob Nightingale that talks that the Yankees are in search of a starting pitcher, a bit of bullpen help, and a right-handed hitting third baseman. Uh, and once again, when that article popped, you started seeing rumors.
About Arenado, about
Yeah.
even we're talking about Alex Bohm. There's other. I know there was other rumors too,
Well,
but
God's honest truth. The Phillies shopped Alex Bohm this past off season, and the big taker was the A's. They wanted Bohm to come play ball for him, and the asking price was Mason Miller, which is a ridiculous
oh yeah,
trade request. So that told me right there that they weren't really seriously shopping him. If they could get
no,
somebody to overpay, they would have moved him. But I think that he's set. And Jason Castudio brings up, uh, do you think Ahmed Rosario would be available? He could play infield and outfield. Uh, he's a possibility. I think he was just re-signed. Uh, I'm not sure. Was it the Braves? I haven't tracked him extensively, so I'm not sure what he brings to the party with the bat. You got any numbers on him, Jason?
he's got. I know for sure. I've seen him play. He's got speed. He's definitely a fast guy. Um, and he got a decent glove, if I remember correctly. But offensively, I can't remember what he did. But
One
I
of
mean,
the
look at our bench yesterday. You know, it was Paul Goldschmidt, it was DJ LeMahieu, Peraza, or no, not Peraza, but DJ LeMahieu, JC Escara. Yeah, that was pretty much our bench. Oh, and Reyes.
yep, he's on the Nats and he's hitting 330 or 303. Is he a starter or is he coming off the bench, Jason? Like I says, I haven't been tracking him, so I don't really have
Yeah,
facts and figures on him.
and you know with the Nats, it's a hard team because a lot of them are young. Although they have great players on that team, but yeah, they uh they have a habit of not wanting to pay their stars, letting them go and bringing up another one.
All right, thanks, Jason. Hey, Mario. Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate you being here, brother. Uh, one of the people that I think that we made a mistake in the off season was letting John Birdie walk. He is a Cabrera type player, uh, good glove guy, decent speed. Uh, I know that
Yeah,
he's with the Cubs right now, and he was
well, and
the he was the starting second baseman while Nico Horner was on the shelf. But Horner is back. He's doing his normal thing, and uh, the uh, the guy's playing a bench role. I mean, he would be the type of utility player slash third baseman that I would like to see the Yankees possibly try to bring back. Uh,
yeah,
he had a shortened season with us. He was injured, the first real injury of his career, and I don't think that really represented what Birdie would have brought to the table.
but I mean, Birdie kind of suffered the fate of Tim LaCastro and others. A real fast guy, you get him on the mound, and then, or not get him on the mound, but get him on the field, and then they get hurt. And
Well,
I mean,
like I said,
unfortunately, that was
he got hurt coming out of the batter's box, which
right.
definitely you don't see.
No, well, Tim LaCastro got hurt running the first, and that was our speedy utility outfielder, been pinch runner for a couple years, and yeah,
So, so John Birdie is one that I think we may be able to reacquire at not the heavy cost. Uh, I would
well,
still like us to see to give an effort to trying to bring Matt McLean into the fold from the Cincinnati Reds. Uh, and if we were talking about a big time move for a third baseman that's solid, I would definitely approach the Arizona Diamondbacks. They have a glut of infielders. Uh, Eugenio Suarez, their third baseman, is uh, is a free agent at the end of the season. I don't think that they're going to retain him. The Diamondbacks have been faltering mainly because of injuries to uh, Justin Martinez, their setup slash closer, and the alternate in uh, AJ Puck, who was somebody that the Yankees coveted for the last couple of seasons, just couldn't make the deal happen. Uh, so if we could bring a quality bat and a defender in like that, I think that we should give it an effort. I think that the Diamondbacks have been faltering because of bullpen issues, the injuries to their pen, and I would be more than willing to send them a player like Ian Hamilton. Uh, I don't believe that they truly have a lefty pitcher. I'd send him Tim Hill on top of it. Hell, they could have both of them. Man, a
Yeah,
jelly donut.
yeah. I mean,
But when we're looking at making moves, we have to look at uh, at who we're willing to sacrifice to make it happen.
right. And yeah, and with Matt McLean, I've been liking that guy on the Reds for a few years now. But I know that they're gonna try to ask for an arm and a leg for McLean. You know, I mean, you look at the package they gave up that when they traded to India to the Red or to the Royals. That was a decent package that they got in return.
Well, Tito Francona is a smart baseball guy, and he may not be playing for this season. He may be playing for next season because he came in here with a bag of ass and is trying to reform the team. Uh,
It almost sounds like every time, because I mean, when the Red Sox were kind of in a rebuild, semi rebuild, when he took over as manager, the Guardians slash Indians were in the rebuild when he took over for them.
uh, Tito comes from a long baseball family, very professional and smart, uh, and he knows how to get it done. You know, the only reason that he retired was because of health reasons, and
Right.
now that situation is back, he's got another team to work with, and I think that he'll do great things in Cincinnati when it's all said and done.
Oh yeah.
But there are players that he's going to have to move to make improvements, and his improvements aren't going to be on the fringes. Uh, Once
Oh yeah.
again, you
I
know,
mean,
they are hurting in the bullpen, and the one thing that we're not lacking on is bullpen arms.
hmm but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that Cashman and whoever the Reds GM wouldn't figure out how to make a deal. Because the thing with the Reds, for a few years, they got the talent, they got the young kids with a whole lot of draft people. But now they got the leader that's gonna help mold them into because they couldn't put it all together before Francona came. You know.
Hey, Stephen B, welcome to the stream. Thank you for
And
being
with
here, brother.
having them
Appreciate
their
it.
superstar Eli De La Cruz, you know, uh, so they got a nucleus they're trying to build there.
All right, I'm going to bring up a question from Mario Ruiz. Mr. Ken, how do you see us doing against the Dodgers this weekend? Uh, Honestly, we are hitting the Dodgers at the right time because they are slumping and we are peaking. Uh, Dodgers have a boatload of problems in their starting rotation. I think they're going to bring back Kershaw here in the next day or two to start filling out. They've lost uh, Blake Snell. Roki Sasaki is on the shelf. Not sure when he's returning. Uh, uh, who was the pitcher that they picked up from the Rays?
Um, Fairbanks, no,
No,
not Fairbanks, but
he's
God, I
oh,
can't remember his
Tyler
name.
Glass now. Tyler Glass now. He's on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shelf. So 60% of their
he's made of
sixty
glass.
percent of their actual rotation is on the shelf, and they're filling in with players like Pete Gonsolin and uh, Dustin May. So
Well,
I like us going against their
and then they're
rotation.
gonna have
The only player
yeah,
that
and then they got.
go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say, and then now you know that they're gonna have their two-way, 700 million superstar Otani pitching again and hitting, but we don't know how long he's gonna last doing 2 A's.
Personally, I think that Otani's biggest attribute to the team is with his bat. I think him going back on the
Mm-hmm.
bump is going to take away from that, and I like it. I think that's a good thing. Uh, the only starter that concerns me from the Dodgers is Yamamoto. Yamamoto, like most classic
Yeah,
Japanese pitchers, throws that ridiculous uh, forkball uh, slash sinker. I don't know why they changed the name on it. It's essentially the same damn pitch. You spread your fingers the same way, but the way the Yankees are, as far as the hitters are concerned, patient at bats is not something that has been the forefront of our team. Uh,
no. I mean, you look at how we came out against the Angels. The first 9 at bats was like one or two pitches, one or two pitches, one or two pitches, and I was like, "Wow, are we really
could,
gonna do this all?" But then, second time through, we got to him.
yeah, we got to them in 1 inning because we didn't do shit for the rest of the
Yeah,
game either. But if you
but I mean,
if you look at it, Kochenowicz uh, averages 5 base on balls a game. He gave up 1 walk.
mm-hmm,
The
yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was just like, but it was just frustrating because for the first three, I mean, I understood with Judge because, I mean, that first pitch he saw was pretty much almost down the middle, and they normally pitch away from him. So
well, I will
you
tell
know,
you what. Uh,
but yeah,
the
it
book
was
on
just
Judge is
frustrating.
out. The book on Judge is out. Hey, Ray Clickner, glad to see you hopping in the stream. Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate it. The book on Judge is if you're a right-handed pitcher, you throw sliders low and away. If you're a left-handed pitcher, you're throwing changeups low and away. He does not make solid contact in that zone. Low and away is bad for him. Uh, and over the last since the Mets series, Judge has had nothing but a steady diet of those sliders.
Yeah, but
All right, Sean,
yeah,
are you still here?
I mean, cause yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just acting up in between us, but can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Hey, Lou, glad to see you hopping in the stream. Yeah, he's still moving.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's just jumping a little bit in between us, but it's no, I mean, because Judge has always made the corrections when they started doing things throughout his career. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna make that adjustment. But yeah, like you said, they got this. Let's pitch low and away from Judge. Let's not give him really anything to hit. Because if they challenge him, he'll destroy them.
I mean, in the fourth inning, Judge hit that frozen rope down third base that Moncada knocked down, and that thing left the bat at like 104.5 miles an hour. It was a freaking missile. Uh, so he has definitely got the power swing down. And personally, the way they're hitting Judge in the 3 hole, I like it. I'd prefer to see him in the 3 hole as opposed to the 2 hole. Uh, he's got protection that is keeping the other teams honest because with Bellinger being so hot and Goldschmidt being so hot, uh, they have to pitch to him at some given point. Uh, and when Stanton comes back to the lineup
Right.
and
And then
is hitting consistently, uh, there is no way in hell the teams are going to be able to pitch around him like they're trying to do right now.
no, because I mean, you looked at it. Even when we had Ben Rice and Trent Grisham before him, and they were both kind of hot. Um, it's like, man, you got runners on with Judge, so then you would either give him the Bonds treatment or pitch around, and then you're gonna lose to, Goldschmidt or Bellinger is gonna get you, and so you're gonna get burned one way. So I mean, Boone has actually kind of.
I am curious what this team would be if we didn't have the injuries that we've had. I mean, like I said, we're playing with 40% of our starting rotation from last year, and Will Warren has been over the last
Yeah,
4 games very pleasant surprise. He's pitching much better than I thought he was going to. Bringing Yarbrough into the rotation. Uh, he has done everything that's asked of him. He's that veteran player and has been able to preserve our bullpen, unlike we had Carrasco and Stroman throwing. We were guaranteed 4 and change for innings. We were going to be down a lot of runs, and I mean, once again, yesterday was his 4th start as our 5 rotation guy, and he hasn't given up any more than 2 runs. So I mean, what more can you ask for? The guy is dealing and he's getting it done. I also like the diversity with Yarbrough because we've got Freed, who a lot of his secondary pitches are off-speed pitches, but his primary pitch is a fastball. You look at Rodon. Rodon's primary pitch is a fastball.
Yeah.
Clark Schmidt's primary pitch is
Right.
As a sinker running.
But no, like you said, could you imagine this? If we had a rotation of I was gonna say, could you imagine having a rotation of Cole, Freed, Rodon, Schmidt, and Hill? And then our lineup would be if we were all healthy, it would have been Goldschmidt, Judge, Bellinger, Stanton, Dominguez, Volpe, you know.
I see John the Beetle Dad hopping in. Welcome, brother. Appreciate you being here.
Either Cabrera or DJ at third, and then.
I mean, honestly, if our starters weren't injured, we would probably have the best rotation in the majors. And historically, the Yankees are very, very good at the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean,
the prospects / rookies are developing faster than I thought they would have. You're seeing flashes of what they can be. The one person that I am, and I know I'm going to catch a lot of shit over this one, disappointed in, and I don't think he's the future of the Yankees, is Austin Wells. I think he's over his head when it comes to hitting. He doesn't look comfortable in the box, and he may bang out a home run or so or get a hit, but for the most part, he's a 200 hitter. Uh, I don't care for his. Everyone likes his pitch framing. Okay, fantastic. That's great. But when the ABS system comes in, is pitch framing even going to be a thing?
No.
Uh, and if you
See,
look at Wells throwing to second base, it drives me absolutely crazy. Wells yesterday threw uh, threw a ball when Ward was stealing to an empty bag. There was nobody there, and he threw it. And by the grace of God,
anyways, yeah.
Vivas was able to put a glove on it and keep the ball at least in the infield.
Right. Um, but no, I'll say I agree with you. Wells has lost. He's lost at the plate. His his catching runners is yeah, but his all around catching as far as at the plate and his chemistry with pitchers is fine. But his at the plate, he's lost completely compared to last year where he was actually coming through with us clutch, having the big moments. And then remember, Trevino was completely lost in the sauce. So, and Wells ended up being a runner up rookie of the year behind Luis Hill. But we need to send him down now and call up Rodriguez just to allow just to have a reset opportunity for Wells down in the minors in AAA. Let him figure out whatever he need to figure out, and then bring him back. At one point you kind of figure it out with Rodriguez because Rodriguez is hitting what 300 and something, and he's just killing it in AAA.
The last time I looked, he was hitting 383. Uh, I want to thank Cold Italian Pizza for hopping in. Uh, bring up a quick note from him. Hey, Ken, I'll see you folks tonight. My doctor has me waiting for him to call. Go Yankees. All right, Bill. Like I said, you're in our thoughts and our prayers. And if you're coming to the Hampton Roads area to get anything done, we need to set up contacts if you need help, or I'd like to come visit you up in the hospital if you need any help, you or your family. Then more than willing to do that. And
Yeah.
welcome, Cold Italian Pizza. What's happening, everyone? Besides the injuries on the and the occasional hiccups, season so far is very good. Yankees in first by almost 7 games. It's 6, so no real complaints. Yeah, Italian.
I mean, well, we know we're Yankee fans. We're gonna nitpick.
the long and short is number 28, and what can be done to put us in the best position to win 28. I mean, 2009 was a long time ago, and a lot of fans out there aren't even old enough to remember that. And certainly, they're not old enough to remember the dynasty years. Uh,
Right, but
I remember
16
living.
years.
I remember living through the '80s, and just in sheer misery at how bad the Yankees actually were at that time, and some of the ridiculous players that we had. Uh,
Yeah, my mom used to tell me how bad it was in the late 60s and early 70s. You know, and
yep.
then the 1980s, especially the late 80s. It just really.
All right,
What I heard.
Mario. Here's your question answered. Uh, the luxury tax is uh, is a three-tiered animal. the first level of penalty happens when your team's roster is over 240 million. The second is at 281 million, I believe, and the last one is at 300 million. They call that one the Cohen tax threshold. What does that mean to us? If you exceed the 301 level uh, tax threshold, if you bring in a new player, say his contract is $5 million, you pay a 1-for-1 penalty. So that means that contract doesn't cost you 5 million; it costs you 10. So when you're talking about a player like a lot of fans are wanting Nolan Arenado, who's on a $22.5 million contract, uh, what would end up actually costing us is 45 million. So are you wanting to bring in a aging third baseman with a suspect bat and pay him more than Aaron Judge? Well, I'm going to tell you, hell no, not a chance in hell. And that's why Hal has been ticky tacking around uh, bringing in people, especially over that 301. Last year we finished the season with a $323 million payroll, so we ended up chunking out a good amount of cash. We also made a lot because of the World Series appearance, but uh, it limits your ability to be able to make improvements to your team. The second mitigating factor on that tax threshold is when you're over the third tier or the Cohen threshold. When you have uh, gone over it 2 years in a row, like the Yankees have, uh, we end up losing position for the MLB first year players draft uh, because we're on the second consecutive year of being over the tier. Our first round draft drops 10 positions, which means we won't actually be drafting a player in the first round. We'll be drafting a player in the compensatory round. So the or high caliber players that are out there, we have no shot at making a bid for them. And the other thing is, with regard to uh, people that have exceeded the third level of the
Um,
threshold, is when you sign players that have qualifying offers, you don't lose just one draft pick, you lose two draft picks, and you're you're also losing $1 million in international free agency money from the pool, which we rely heavily on because we draft so low atypically because we're always in the playoffs and the team is solid. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight and education into the tax threshold.
yeah, and then the other thing too, Mario, about the Dodgers versus Yankees. Dodgers have a hedge fund of like, I don't know, 7, 8, maybe 9 billionaires that owns the team collectively. So they can kind of be each other's safety nets. The Yankees, even though how they have some minority owners, the Steinbrenner family is still the principal owners of the team. So um, they would have to absorb a lot of that whole um, penalties with the thing we were talking about with the whole being over the luxury tax. That's part of why Hal is like, hey, I got to make sure that we can stay afloat.
Well, the other thing is
If that makes
the
any
other
sense.
thing that you have to think about too, with regard to finances in baseball, is that the larger market teams supplement minor market teams, i.e., places like Tampa, uh, Pittsburgh, Arizona, uh, Minnesota. Last year in competitive balance taxes, the Yankees paid out $136 million. I don't have an issue with they're trying to be parity so that the smaller markets can compete for the postseason and the World Series. What I have an issue with is when those teams receive that money, like the A's, for instance, and they pocket it. They make no improvements to their facilities, no improvements to their rosters, no improvements to the team. That's just a bonus payout for them and their shareholders. And that is absolute bullshit. We are being penalized as an organization to because we spend money on our teams and try to make improvements. The thing with the Dodgers, I saw somebody
Well, I
write a
mean, look
comment.
look at the Marlins.
They're another team. If you look at the Dodgers, their luxury tax hit is considerably lower right now because of all the deferred money they have, and it's perfectly legal. It's within the rules, and a lot of the teams are raising hell about it because essentially, if you're looking at the innate roster of the Dodgers, their roster is like 470 million in real cash. But because they've got players like Otani, who is on a $700 million contract, but he's deferred all but 2 million per season until basically he retires. Yep, they are flexing for the Hollywood dollars, and you know that same thing
But yeah,
is capable here in New York. A lot of people are complaining about the Dodgers' ability to bring in Japanese superstar players to LA. Well,
like I said, I mean they're
in the
owned by a hedge fund, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the Hollywood elites are in it as part of the hedge fund of the Dodgers ownership. So
well, part of what I was going to say with regard to Japanese players in the '90s, uh, even in the late '80s, the Yankees are a world recognized organization known for championship and winning. Uh, over the last 16 years, we haven't won anything. So, hence, the prestige of coming to be a New York Yankee uh, isn't what it used to be. Uh, the last true Japanese star that we had was Tanaka.
well, I mean,
Are you recording?
go ahead.
Now, give me a sec. My son is talking to me.
Huh?
So the last true Japanese star we had was Tanaka, Matsui. I mean,
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, Sean. So, the
so you
prestige
kind of.
from Japan with the culture, uh,
Oh, no, wait, but you started off
Kuroda.
with the last true Japanese star we had.
Yeah. So
Uh,
the appeal to coming to New York hasn't been as great. Uh, we have this kid that's going to be posted this season, Murakami, and he said that he likes the Yankees and would like to play for the Yankees. However, uh, right now with our cap threshold, our payroll for next season is already at $281 million. So we've already surpassed the second level. What we have coming off the books in free agency is possibly Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, both of our solid back end bullpen guys. Uh, Paul Goldschmidt will be off the books. So are we willing to give the helm to Ben Rice to take over at first? I don't know. We've had a need at third base
Yeah.
for a while. Go ahead. But with regard to Murakami, I don't know how
There's
much
going to
power
be
we actually have to play with to try to bring him in. Murakami is a combo first and third baseman. So, I mean, he would hit the profile. He hits with a fair amount of power in Japan. My concerns with regard to trying to bring on a player like Murakami is he hits with power, but he sure strikes out a lot. And with FJ, his comment, if the Yankees win the World Series this year, Murakami might be tempted. I agree with you completely. The other thing to look at are
yeah.
our cross country rivals is the Dodgers and Max Muncy, their current third baseman. He's aging out, and
also
he's going to be a free agent.
the thing is majors.
All right, I heard majors, and that was it. Okay.
Oh, I don't know if you heard what I was saying.
The last thing I heard was the word majors.
Oh, I was saying with Murakami, because I mean the last time, remember Matsui was a power hitter from Japan. He's in Japan, and he came over. He didn't hit as many home runs with us, but he was definitely a clutch hitter. He did have power, but I was saying the question with Murakami is this: how is he going to transition or convert to major league hit? Because there's a difference between the two leagues, and every player has that transition period.
Well, the hitters, the Japanese and the NPO and KBO hitters seem to do all right making the transition to Major League Baseball. The ones that don't do well are the pitchers, i.e., they're used to pitching once a week. Their ball is a bit lighter than ours, and their season
The
a lot
pitchers.
shorter. All right, I'm going
But
to
yeah,
throw this
I mean,
one
I would
up
like.
there for y'all.
Don't get me wrong. I would like Murakami.
I'm going to throw this one up for y'all. If you haven't, please hit the like button. If you're not, please subscribe and share this channel out. Schedule of events for today. After we're done with this stream at 9 p.m., Joe is going to be hosting the pregame show on NY Yankees Mania. So please jump over and catch that. Always a good conversation, a little bit of fun. And at 9:30, I'm going to be coming back on here at 9:30 to do the play-by-play for this evening's game 2 of the Yankees versus the Angels. I think if we have a good performance tonight and we bring it home, we take the series to make it our 7th straight series, and Yusei Kikuchi is not as big a factor in my mind's eye. I'd love a sweep, but we shall see. So, any more thoughts, Sean? Carlos Rodon is going to be pitching for us this evening against Tyler Anderson for the Angels. Anderson is a
But
decent
yeah,
pitcher.
I
Showed interest in him last season. So it's going to be a good pitching matchup. I think that if the Yankees continue to have patient at bats, we'll get on top of him and we'll be fine. Anderson, he's 2-1 on the season with a 3.60 ERA. He's sitting at 43 strikeouts. So he's not a big volume strikeout pitcher. He tends to stay around the middle of the plate. His fastball velo is pretty low. His K rate is pretty low, and he doesn't have a lot of players hitting ground balls. So for us, that means no double plays, which is a good thing because we seem to be hitting into a lot of them lately. And if he's throwing very slow, 88 mile an hour four seam fastball that he throws over almost half the time. So a pitcher like that, if he has not got movement going and he's in the middle of the plate, it's going to be a long and bad night for him. Well, it might be a short and bad night for him. All right, guys, we are coming up to the hour mark on this stream, and I'm going to shut it down. I hope that I see you on the pregame show and at the play-by-play. Stop in and say hi. Give us a like and a shout out. I understand it's, especially for those on the East Coast, it's going to be late. Final word, Sean?
what I was gonna say is that yeah, I'm gonna give it a tough. Let's go Yankees.
All right. And I will close it by customary fashion. Let's go Yankees. Let's get it done tonight. I see. Graham, not tonight, Ken. In the middle of the night here, laughing out loud. I need my beauty sleep. Understood, brother. Understood. All right. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the funny papers.